Can you see the presentation?
Yes, perfectly, thank you.
Nice. Okay, let's start. Thank you very much for the invitation. I'm really glad to you, Frankie, and all the team behind. I'm very glad to be here, and I'll try to talk about what I do in my job in the details. I'll try to share a glimpse of my work and how I use AI for brand design. These are the key points that we will see. I will show a bit of myself, and then we will try to create something together. I will show you how to use both Midjourney and GPT and a new AI that is specific design for fashion design. That is Refabric that I'm using in the last weeks, and I tried. I find out that it is very amazing, so I suggest it to you that we will see it later. So that's me. Those are some of my creation. I am Emanuele. My journey in generative artificial intelligence began in 2022 when I was selected as a beta tester for DALL-E and by OpenAI. And so I delved into the world of text-to-image AI, and I suddenly recognized the transformative potential of this technology. And so, motivated by this revelation, I embarked on a relentless journey of exploration, equating myself with advanced tools like GPT and Midjourney. And so I decided to specialize in these cutting-edge resources. Since those initial days, I have immersed myself in these diverse generative AI applications, refining my skills and evolving into a proficient user of this potent technology. And now I'm actually working with worldwide companies. And my passion for pushing the boundaries of AI continues to drive me. And now I stand a seasoned professional adept of leveraging the power of Gen AI to create innovative and compelling outcomes. Here we can see a footwear design. I did a concept collaboration between Nike and Dune, the movie. In the middle, we can see a Cressy, a snorkeling brand for Prada. And on the right, we got a Nike puffy comfort oversized jacket. But now let's start. Okay, you can see, perfect. Harnessing the power of generative AI for innovative brand concept development. In today's fast-paced and dynamic business landscape, staying ahead of the competition requires innovative approaches. We all agree with that, I think. One such approach is harnessing the power of Gen AI, which has proven to be a game changer in the field of branding concept creation. What is the role of Gen AI in brand concept development? To begin, let's understand the pivotal role of Gen AI plays in the world of branding. Gen AI, I think that we all know what we are talking about. We can talk about text-to-image or text-to-text AI or more, but today we will focus on text-to-text and text-to-image, and we will focus on how to use that for brand design. One of the most remarkable features of generative AI is its ability to unleash creativity, and it can generate fresh and innovative ideas, slogans, and even sharp brand narratives. But we are talking too of images, animations, and every kind of content that can really bring us to a new level of design. Time is often the essence in the business world. We all agree with that. And the power of AI is in that too, so that we can really speed our work and pass from weeks on hour, really with a few clicks. The design revolution. This is a concept collaboration I did for Gucci, directed by Wes Anderson. And here we can see how these tools can really help us to develop really hard ideas that would be very hard to develop on our own. The integration of these tools in brand concept development represent a transformative shift in the way we approach branding and marketing. So I think that this is the next level, and we all need to know how to use these tools. So now let's dive into what we're talking about. We will see Midjourney and ChatGPT and how to use these amazing tools to bring our ideas to life. By understanding what you want to create, visualizing it, and expressing it in words, Gen AI brings us into a magical world where words are transformed into captivating images. And that's totally amazing, because that's, I think that using the words of a designer that I love that is called Geometry Eva, she said that AI elevates artist to art director, and that's a really nice point. Another one is Refabric that I will use, and it's a fashion design platform, so it's very cool, and I suggest it to you if you're interested in. Probably, I think that we all know what is a prompt here, but I'll try to give a little explain. In the context of Gen AI, a prompt is a piece of text or input that you give to the model to get it to generate or create something specific, like a story, a poem, an image, an animation. It's like giving the AI a starting point or a suggestion, and then it uses its knowledge and algorithm to generate a response based on that input. Now let's start. This is a little presentation that I bring to some academy here in Italy, where I was invited for teaching the students how to use AI. Here is an example of how to use ChatGPT to create a logo. Here we will see an example with a concept brand inspired from Neon Genesis Evangelion, an anime. I started using ChatGPT to create some logos idea, and how you can see with a really easy prompt, it gave me 7 possible logos ideas. So I start develop each one, and I choose the best result. So let's start imagining, going through Midjourney, and that's what I received. These are very cool results, I think, really obtained while I was laying in the bed and just with a few clicks, and that's, I think, totally amazing. That's a total evolution of our job. I start with the angel wing, but I see that the result was pretty too much detailed, so I went to something more minimal and even more, and in the end, I end up with this, a logo design in just a few clicks. So Gen AI can be employed to create custom logos that align with our brand identity. By inputting specific parameters and aesthetic preferences, the AI algorithm can generate a multitude of logo variations, saving a lot of time and giving us a lot of new ideas to work with. But not only logos, we will talk about a full brand identity, and so let's dive into a fashion campaign. Here we can see some stunning images generated both with Midjourney on the left and the 2 pictures on the right. I used Refabric. The result is pretty amazing, and it's really, I don't know if you ever looked at Neon Genesis Evangelion, but the aesthetic is very, very similar, and even the model are generated based on the character of the anime. And that's totally stunning, because that make us understand how we can use AI not only for create from zero, but for like brainstorming, and so trying to give him input and see what it generates and what it suggests to us, and so it becomes not only just a tool, but an assistant, like someone that is helping us to develop a collection or a design or everything else. Not only a fashion campaign, but even a fashion product design. Here we can see, using Midjourney, I obtained a backpack, footwear, and necklace, again with just a few clicks. We got an amazing, and we just have in like 30 minutes we got a logo, fashion campaign, and product campaign. And not only that, because with AI the amazing part is that we can use it for pretty everything that we can imagine. And so the concept is, if you can imagine it, you can create it. And so let's go onto a store design. So we got a store, we got a fashion campaign, we got a logo, we got a brand identity, we got everything to launch our new brand. Everything done by just one person with an AI. This is our collection, Evaverse. The name is generated from ChatGPT too. So I've used AI to develop a full brand in just a few clicks and just a few minutes. Points to remember, what is very important to understand is that generations are based on data. And that's a really important point, because we have always to understand that what we are trying to create is something that our mind need to elaborate a lot before obtaining it, while AIs are capable of elaborate a lot of data contemporary and obtain thousands of results very faster than us. So I was saying before, we can use it as a brainstorming tool that is really powerful, I think. Then focusing on the prompt, don't surrender at the first generation. This is very important. Let's try always work on the prompt, but not only on the word that you use, but on the how you compose the full phrase, because the order of the words is really important. And of course, we all have to be creative when we use this tool, because we don't have to let the AI do our job in that kind of way. I mean, we only have to use them. We have to remember that we have to use them as a tool and not as a substitute. So we have to use them for create what we have in our mind, not in their mind. And so how I was saying before, this is a phrase from Geometry AI, an AI artist that I love. And the question that everybody is asking is if AI is out here to steal our job. And that's a very nice answer that she gave. And she said that maybe at some point, but for Nodo, AI is just a fantastic tool. First, there was a brush, and now there is a prompt. Think of AI as an assistant helping you achieve your goals, not as a competitor. AI has the power to elevate artist to art director. And I really believe in this point. And I really think too that AI is not there to steal our job, but people who know how to use AI are. So it's very important to learn how to use these tools. And now I would like to leave some space if there are some questions to answer, because I really would like to teach to people how to use this amazing tool. And so I pass the ball to you, and I say, imagine the impossible.
Fantastic. So I was wondering whether you could tell us a little bit about the different AI tools that are out there, Midjourney, Refabric. What's the difference between all of these tools, and what do you need to know before you start?
Okay, the very important thing to know is that Midjourney is probably, from my point of view, actually the best text-to-image AI, and it gave you amazing output. But the difference between like Refabric is that is specifically designed for fashion design, and so when you see the outcome, you can see a very detailed fabrics, and not only on the final result, but too on the prompt that you gave to the AI. So it's more capable to understand fashion terms, and that I think is very important. Because sometimes with Midjourney, it's not very easy to obtain a clean result.
Mm-hmm. And if obviously you can iterate and you can create, a prompt, and then you see the output, and then you tweak it and you change it, and then it's that ongoing process. How can you speed up that process and just get lots of images, and then select down the ones that you want and then mash up others? Like, how can you speed up that whole process?
I think that that's part of your creative process. So everybody has their own method. For example, mine is to starting by brainstorming with myself, write on a paper every word that I think that is a keyword. Then let's work on starting from the prompt, like I was saying before. It's very important to focus on the prompt before starting generating it, because if you start generate with random prompts, you will probably maybe you obtain something very cool, but it's not your idea. And if for obtaining something very specific, you will need a lot of generation. But if you start from the prompt, so you make the process like it should be done, you try to understand what you want to visualize and transform an image in your mind in words. So it's very easier to obtain the specific result without wasting a lot of generation.
And your English is amazing, really, really.
I don't think so, but thank you.
But no, I'm born in England, but I've got family in Switzerland and Italy and Sweden, lived in Brazil. You arrive in Brazil, no one speaks English. You know, Europe, everyone speaks English and they speak like different languages, you know, German, French, all of that sort of thing. So in order to make this accessible, the text prompts are English.
Yes.
So how can someone who's living in, I don't know, in the Philippines, they'll probably speak English as well, but you know, how can they also access this? And how have you gotten over this barrier, which is the language barrier?
Probably still using AI. I mean, I start with ChatGPT, and I know that actually the translations are not very good, I have to say. But probably using more tools together, combined, you can bypass this language problem and using them like everyone else. But probably I think that like AIs are developing very fast, and I was reading some articles about AIs trying to understand more languages. That I think is a really nice point, especially for the ethical part, for preserve cultural inclusivity.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that probably actually there's no solution. We have to know how to speak English.
Yeah, and I think it's really up to tools like Midjourney. I think even Refabric, they allow people to, as the advanced options, to type in your own language, which I think is really going to democratize everything.
Yeah.
Just on large language models and natural language processing, they are really adept at understanding language. I think there was one case where it was trained on Sanskrit and it was coming up with words that it hadn't been trained on, but that were actual real words. So with that in mind, it's like, you know, decoding language. You could probably do a lot of discoveries, you know, even with the symbols in Egypt, which is a sort of a form of language in of itself. So hopefully we can uncover more mystery.
That's a very interesting point that I was studying, like the different outputs based on the language that you give to the AI.
Ah, okay, interesting.
And that was a very cool research because sometimes it was very different. And so it's curious to understand what's behind.
Yes, exactly. And if you want to localize content, you know, say you're in India and you want to create some garments and you are looking to put it on an Indian supermodel, fantastic. That would unlock that localization, discrimination sort of aspect. So fantastic. Well, thank you so much for your time today. Really, really wonderful. So we actually have a bit of a pause now until 4:30 UK time, which will be 5:30 Central European time.